by the 6th month, you still didn't take any action. And then you realize you don't have the interest anymore. Maybe by 1 year time, you are not even talking about it at all. Have you ever in your life encountered such or have this experience? Now, if the answer is yes, the second question is, how many times in your life has it happened? Once, twice, or many times? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Abubakar Aliyu, and what I'm going to talk to you about is called now. Now, the power of every or any successful entrepreneur. So let's begin. Back. Anyway, there's an important quote I want to start with. Yes, please, yeah. This quote by the great executive says, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. This is a powerful quote I thought I should begin my presentation with. Now, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketballer of all times, was once a beginner. Lionel Messi, that we all boys want to watch and admire, was once a beginner, and now they call him the GOAT. Now, coming down to our community, our father, Medebino, was once a beginner. Our father, Azzubayr was once a beginner. Our senior brother, Alhaji Muhammad Usman Sarki, was once a beginner. So, the point is, at some point of any great person in any field in the world, be it sports or entrepreneurship or academia or wherever, these people were once beginners. So this means in your journey to greatness, beginning is an important step in the equation. So, moving on, why people don't start? What is making you to procrastinate? Why are you not, executing those ideas that have been crossing your mind over and over again? Now, if you ask about any average right-thinking person in the world, they will tell you that they want to live a happy life, they want to have spend some time with the family, they want to travel the world, they want to have abundance of money, they want to have families, they want to have good cars, and above all, they want to be free, means to have freedom. But then, if you ask any successful entrepreneur in the world who has achieved all this, or most of it, they will tell you something like, well, first of all, you need to have a great product or service that people are willing to pay money for. And you will be like, okay, I can deal with that. And then secondly, they will tell you something like, okay, now you need to have a great team. You'll be like, okay, I can deal with that also. And then they will tell you you need to put a lot of hard work and determination. And you say, okay, yes, I can still cope with that. But then when they tell you you need to be consistent for about 10 to 20 years, and that is when a lot of us will break down. Because the reality is, by nature, people have little to no patience when it comes to about time. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that all these excuses, which we don't start something because of these excuses, I don't even want to call them reasons, because reasons sometimes can be a strong thing. It can be something reasonable. But an excuse is always an excuse. So what are the excuses why you haven't started 5 years ago when that idea crossed your mind? Why haven't you started 3 years ago? So there are a lot of excuses, ladies and gentlemen, but today I'm going to limit my talks on these 3 excuses: fear, capital, and time. Let's begin. Now, there are a lot of fears. For example, the fear of failure. This is a known fear that affects a lot of people. They don't want to start something great because they are afraid they would fail. And most often, the fear of failure comes together with self-doubt. Because in the first place, there are a level of self-doubt that makes you think like you are not going to win. You might fail along the line. Second fear that I made mention is the fear of what people think. And by the way, this is the prison that a lot of us are living in. We fear what people think about us, or we care what people think about us. Okay? So I'm here trying to tell you that this fear is something we can break out of. And just like any other fear, once you break out of the box once, and that fear is gone, certainly forever. So what should we do if we've been confronted with fear? Number one is to react differently. We should react differently. For example, you know, a lot of young guys here, some friends, we all meet the prestigious Readers Hub. There is this, the fear of public speaking. So what Readers Hub does is to get us prepared, you know, on speeches so that we can be able to face audience. So almost every speaker in the world has this fear of public speaking. But what differentiates those great speakers with those average or those who are not even public speakers at all is they just couldn't react differently. Feel the fear and then do it anyway. Two, we have to look at the bright side of failure. Now, failure is not all bad. In fact, sometimes it's good for you to fail. Because when you fail, there's a lot of experiences, a lot of learning that comes with it. So if you don't reflect, if you don't learn, then we can say, yes, that failure is really a failure. But if you learn and reflect and grow from there, it's not really called a failure. In business, we call it a setback, which there is going to be a comeback. Greatness is on the other side of fear. Absolutely. Any great person you know in the world, in any field, he must have combated fear in the first place. You cannot be fearful and be great. It's not possible. So for you, for somebody, young person like us who wants to be great in any field, not even entrepreneurship, you have to, you know, get over fear. You have to combat fear. And most fears are illusions. They are not real. They are illusions. It's our brain telling us some stories and we believe in it. But in reality, the fear does not exist. And to prove this, there is this famous quote by Winston Churchill. And this is what he had to say. When you are 20, you care about what everyone thinks. When you are 40, you stop caring about what people think. And then when you reach 60, you then realize nobody was ever thinking about you in the first place. So this is telling you it's all an illusion. It really didn't exist in the first place. And what this quote is telling us is, when you are young, like majority of the audience here, you care about what people think. And then when you are 40 means when you are grown. You don't necessarily have to be 40. You could be 25 years old and be grown. And this is what I'm telling us. We don't have to be 40 to stop caring about what people say. People are going to say something, regardless. So you are 21 now, you are 19 years old, you are 30, you are 20, whatever your age, I want you to understand that this fear is just a prison, it's just an illusion our brain usually brings us, and we accept it, but it's not a real fear, it's an illusion, and we can break out of it. Now, the next thing, after fear, another excuse that don't allow people to start is called capital expectation. A lot of times when you have this entrepreneurship conversation with people, why haven't you started a business? And they will tell you, I don't have the money to start. But in reality, I don't want to say illusion, but in reality it's not real. It's their brain also telling them that they need money to actually start a business. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need money to start a business. But we can all agree that you need money to grow a business. But starting is not a matter of money. And this brings about the four levels of business. This quadrant you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, any business in the world will fall onto one of these quadrants. Micro business, small business, medium enterprise, and big enterprise. Now, the thing is, let's go back to the quadrant. The thing is, when you are focusing on the micro or small quadrant, what you need the most is the skill and the mindset to get started with. Money is not really an issue, and I will give you an example. For example, now let's assume you are a graphic designer. All you need to be in business is to start to scout for clients and then get busy with your skill. The only thing that is needed maybe is a laptop, which you already have. Or even now, you can even do some designs with your mobile phone, which we already have smartphones. So in the micro and small business quadrant, all you need is the skill and the mindset to begin. It's only after action then you are able to gather enough experience that you can break from micro to small and from small all the way to the medium enterprise and to the big. I will give you a story of one of the greatest entrepreneurs that lived in the face of this earth by the name Aliko Dangote, who is born in the city of Kano. Now, Aliko Dangote started his business in the year 1981. This is exactly 42 years when he started. When Dangote started his business, he started as a small business person because he started with commodity trading. With 500,000 he borrowed from his grandfather, he was able to start commodity trading between north and south. Majorly, he stayed in Lagos. After doing that for a couple of years, Dangote was able to start importation business. He's, even back then, one of the major importers of sugar products to Nigeria. And then, over time of doing that, Dangote was able to break from small now into medium-scale enterprise by starting production line. And that is when and how you and me started getting the Dangote sugar, Dangote cement, Dangote this, Dangote that. And after years of doing that, last month, there about 10 days ago, Dangote was able to launch his refinery, a multi-billion-dollar refinery, one of its kind in the whole Africa. And then I have one question here, is that if Dangote had wanted to start his business in the year 1981 and he wanted to start with the refinery in 1981, will it be possible? Absolutely no. Why? Because then you don't have the money, and no bank in the whole world will be able to give Dangote that amount of money, $19.something billion to build a refinery in the year 1981. Because Dangote has never executed any project of that size and succeeded. That's one. Secondly, he might not even be able to get the license. The reason is because now Dangote has all the connections that he can secure any government permits, any license to construct. In 1981, he was just like you and me. Nobody knows us. He will not even be able to get the license to get ahead with the refinery. But look at the transition from trading commodity to importation to manufacturing, and now Dangote has a refinery. In fact, a series of big businesses, and no doubt and no wonder he is one of the richest people in the world, not only in Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, starting is an illusion that people have in their mind that they need capital, they need huge money to start. There are a lot of examples like that. So moving on, time. This is where a lot of us break down, because people hate the idea of waiting. People hate the idea of something that will take time. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, anything in this life, anything good must take time. And if you want to embark on the journey of entrepreneurship, you'd rather be used to it. So I'm here to tell you that entrepreneurship is a long-term game. It's a long-term game. It takes time. Nabal Rebican, one of the successful entrepreneurs in the United States, he says it takes averagely 10 years for a business to truly succeed. And not only Nabal Rebican, almost a lot of entrepreneurs, if you read the book, The Millionaire's Fast Lane, they have similar concept. Robert T. Kiyosaki, who also, have the same saying, that at least it will take 10 years for you to even start to, judge whether a business is successful or failed. So now the point is, even like Double put it, it even takes 10 years to raise a child. So it takes 10 years to build a career in anything. So my brothers and sisters, I'm here telling you that whatever you are doing, whatever you are trying to embark on, in as much as it is entrepreneurship, please give yourself ample time to grow and be successful. And minimum you should take should be 10 years. Well, I take 10 years for me, but I think it's a reasonable choice that you should also make it 10 years. Because within these 10 years, that is the time that you will go through a lot of hurdles. And by the way, there's a concept I'm going to talk about, it's called the compound effect. Okay, the compound effect. All the hard work you are putting day by day is compounding. Now, if I take Yusuf Salih's Kujo, for example, 10 years ago, only a few of us know about Yusuf. But because Yusuf has been consistent and has been putting a lot of hard work and determination in what he does, now Yusuf is, an international brand by himself. Because all the programs he's been anchoring, all these things he's been putting, has been, compounded time after time. Now, whenever Yusuf comes to speak to a lot of people, they already know him. Okay? So these hard works that you are putting and all these things are compounded over time. That is why the longer you stay in business, the stronger you become. This is my advice to everyone. If you want to embark on entrepreneurship, I advise you to start with a small or micro business. Start with a small or micro business. Reason is because a small business takes between 2 and 3 years to be, profitable. Since we have problem with patience of waiting, so it's good to start something that will be profitable in a short while, maybe within 2 to 3 years. Reason is because when the money starts coming, then you realize that, okay, you can enjoy the pain a little bit. Because imagine working hard for 5 years and there is no cash flow that's coming in to sustain the activities. That means you are solely going to rely on the resources that already existed. But then, let's say you suffer for 2 years and then the cash flow started coming, and then you'll be able to finance the other part of the business and then take care of the business and grow it slowly, slowly, until a point whereby you break it from being small to a medium enterprise. For example, if you want to start a bakery, maybe you need 50 million to start a modern bakery. But you can become a baker at home. Start small. With your utensils, you can start at home and then be able to scale. Our father, Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu, who is the owner of Kano City restaurant, he told us a story that he started City restaurant in his home. Not like people come to his home to eat. No. He was a banker then. And his wife, our mother, would cook the food and it will be delivered to the bank. And all the staff will take their own orders and then they pay the money. Slowly, our father realized the opportunity ahead of him and he was able to start small. And then, look at now, as far as patronage is concerned, there is not any restaurant in Kano State that has the patronage that Kano City restaurant has. It is not the most beautiful restaurant, but the patronage we are talking about, go there, eat, just spend like 10 to 15 minutes. See how many thousands of people, how many dozens of people will come in and go out. People eating, coming in and going out. So start small, the waiting time is not that much. I have a quote also to share with us. This is a powerful quote. I don't know who said it. I found it on the internet. It says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And then the second best time is now. What it's telling us is that idea that crossed your mind and you haven't started 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you have missed it. But then it's not like you have missed it forever. There's another chance, which is now. So you can always start, like my sister Aisha Marafa said, there's always, it's never too late. You can always start where you are. And that is what I'm here to tell you. that you can start now. That idea that you have been skipping, you didn't take any action, you can start it now. Because I have another quote to justify this, the quote of taking action, I call it, by a famous public speaker, name of Jim Rohn. He says, the best time to act is when the idea is hot and the feeling is strong. And what this means is there's a correlation between how you feel and how you perform. For example, if you have an idea, like I said earlier, you didn't take action for like 1 year, you realize that the feelings is gone. But when the idea first reached you, you are too excited, you could not even sit right, because you always want to just go and talk to people about it, people who can help, you just want to start. So that is how the relationship is. If you don't take action, the feelings diminishes. So there is a strong correlation between how you feel and how you perform. So start your business and start it now. And then the final takeaway point is, feel the fear and do your business anyway. Just react differently. Then stop caring about what people think. It's just a prison that doesn't really exist. It's a prison that you have the keys to the locks. So please unlock yourself and break out of that prison. Start with what you have. You don't have to, go beyond what you don't have. That is when capital becomes a problem. Start with what you have. My sister, you already have maybe 20,000 in your bank account. It's already enough to start a micro business, a small business. My friend, you have maybe 50,000 in your bank account, and then you have a good mobile phone. You can start affiliate marketing. A lot of things you can do to start your business. Just because you started as an affiliate marketer doesn't mean you will end there. Look at Woolwich, how he rose from being a commodity.
Because business credibility takes time to build. It takes time to
penetrate the market. So this is the reasons why you have to start, and then you have to start now. Thank you very much.